Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the weekly reading for the water sign of Cancer. Alright, this is going to be for June 10th to the 17th. And I switched the format up a little bit. I'm not doing the elemental reads. I'm going to be putting out weeklies for each of the signs from now on. But I'm going to try to keep the video short. So let's pull your two cards for you and your person. Alright, this is kind of a relationship check-in for the week. What you're going through. Show us Cancer. What's going on with Cancer this week? June 10th to 17th. Show me. I need two cards. Two cards for my lovely Cancers and their person. Show me. Alright, Cancer, codependency, it's the first card, and calling in your soulmate. So you've got codependency and calling in your soulmate. Interesting. Alright, codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life, and calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you two together. Alright, so that's quite interesting, the two cards. Alright, so codependency suggests that you're already in a relationship, yet calling in your soulmate suggests that you're still calling them in, right? So let's pull your cards out. I'm going to pull out 7 cards, and we'll see what's going on this week for you, Cancer. Show us what's going on for Cancer, June 10th. What's going on for Cancers? June 10th to the 17th. Give me a clear message for them. Relationships. Alright. All kinds of relationships, friendships, love, relationships. Show me. Cancer, June 10th to 17th. Give me a clear picture for them. With affirmations, warnings, and connections between the cards. Alright, Cancer, let's see what's going on. Oop, we're upside down. 4 of Wands. Knight of Cups. King of Cups. 8 of Wands. Wow, this is your life. Here's your person. Queen of Pentacles. The World. And 3 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, you have King of Swords. Wow, okay. So, 4 of Wands. Yeah, that talks about long-term relationship, right? So you're working, yeah, you're working on a long-term relationship. You're working towards a long-term relationship. Center stage, you know, is this kind of happy, enduring for stability. It's stability. You want stability in your relationships, right? You're at least working towards it. It could be marriage, a proposal. All right. So, yeah. So that's at the center of this week for you. I'm interested about this codependency, though, because this jives with calling in your soulmate. This is the soulmate card, right? This is the twin flame soulmate card. So, yeah, certainly pulling in your soulmate, but what's the codependency all about? And, like, these cards could be for either or you and your partner or both, right? It's just 2 cards for the two people. So, Cancer, yeah, you are feeling, look at this. We've got Knight of Cups and King of Cups right next to each other. Knight of Cups is coming in. He's not very committed, though, right? Not very committed. And the King of Cups is there, like, committed, like the husband. He's the father figure. He's the generous king. He's the lovable king. The Knight is very flighty. He's the Don Juan, you know. And it could be, and here we go with eight of Swords, you feel quite helpless. This is the victim card, right? So somebody keeps coming in and out, in and out, in and out to this relationship. And I think you feeling Cancer, like, you're feeling like this, right? You're feeling like you want to establish something, right? You want it to have long term. It's right under the Four of Wands, so you want stability. This person just keeps coming in and out. They're not really giving you stability right now. And I think that you're feeling, and this is funny because codependency is a bit of a victim, right? It's a bit of victim energy. This is my victim card. So Eight of Swords talks about, like, playing the victim, saying, like, I had no other choice. You left me no other choice. I had to behave this way, or I had to do this, right? It could be that your person is making you feel like that because they're coming in and out, so they're making you feel like a victim. And it can be also that your person is playing the victim. They're saying that this is the reason why they're behaving that way because you're forcing them. It could be a little bit of a gaslight situation. But down here, this is your person's cards, right? So they see you as, they see you as very successful, Cancer. Your person sees you as very successful, beautiful, like you have a lot to give, a lot to offer. The Queen of Pentacles is kind of that tough feminine energy that's really worked hard. She's she's come from nothing and built her way up, right? She's come from a really difficult time, many times come from no money or affluence or status, and slowly built all of this up. And so that's why she looks at her pentacle almost like it's a child, like so lovingly, because this is really the fruit of her labor, her and this is how your person sees you, I believe, Cancer, right? But they also have a lot of ambition, right? And the world, they have like this bigger picture as well. The World Cup talks about looking at the bigger picture and the way you fit into it, right? And with this Three of Wands, I want to tell you honestly, the feeling I get, Cancer, is that you're dealing with somebody who's very ambitious, right? They see you as a status, not a status symbol, but as someone that can raise their status. You're looking for soulmate energy, but I'm not necessarily sure that this person is ready to give you soulmate energy. Whereas you're really open. Here you are with King of Cups. You're like, not only are you open to receive love, but you kind of want to lock it down, right? So it's not just Queen of Cups, it's King of Cups. Queen of Cups talks about sharing love and being open in exchange. But King of Cups is the one who kind of he wants to lock it down. He's the king. He wants to have his queen. He wants to, formalize that love, that bond. And that makes sense that, Four of Wands comes out. And I really do feel in a way like this is you, right? Now, this could also be your partner, right? This could be your partner. And this could be you, Cancer, right? So in the sense that, yes, you love them, okay? You love them very much, but you're the one who's not ready to be committed. And they're the ones who are kind of pressuring you in a way to be committed. Because usually when I pull the two cards, this one is for you and this is for your person. So, and this is what is at the center. Now, it could be this, Cancer. You could be feeling like you're in this relationship with somebody, and it is a very codependent relationship. It could be there's some other things going on here, right? Some other kind of manipulations, right? I don't see the moon or any other card that may indicate like power plays or like kind of like preying on you in any kind. Like codependency, you usually think about like toxic relationships that involve drinking or drugs or something like that. But I'm not even sure if that's what it is. It could be very much like, this person just wants you, right? They call you their soulmate. They want to lock you down. But you're really just not, you feel love for them, very much so, right? But you don't want that from them. You don't want that King Cups. You want to be able to come in and out. You want to be able to like roam around a little bit. You're just not committed to this relationship. And it could be making you feel very much, again, this is still how you're feeling, right? Regardless of whether you're the king or the knight. But this kind of pressure to kind of become more structured and stable, more committed in a way. Even though you're not quite there, you do have a codependent relationship with this person in as much as that you keep getting pulled back to them, If this is you, you just keep getting pulled back to them. And it could be that you're trying to pull away from them, right? Because, maybe the relationship isn't very healthy, right, for you. For whatever reason, you're finding yourself just constantly drawn in. And then you leave for whatever reason and you're drawn in again. I think that when you're in the relationship, you feel very trapped, right? I feel like this person either makes you feel trapped or smothered. They may gaslight you. They may be quite chaotic sometimes or flighty in their way they behave towards you, and then kind of try to gaslight you. And for those of you, gaslighting is when somebody creates a really chaotic situation or environment, and then when you respond to that environment in a normal kind of way, they turn around and say you're the one, they kind of try to make you feel like you're the reason why the environment is chaotic. That your reaction to it is the reason why it's there. It's a weird way of trying to make somebody feel like they're crazy, when the truth of the matter is they're just reacting to the chaos that you're causing. It's a really weird, specific way of fucking with somebody's head. But it could be that when you're with this person, that's kind of like what you're going through. And so you keep leaving them, and they keep wanting you to come back. They keep sitting there and drawing you back in. They certainly see you as and this is interesting. Again, I don't want to say necessarily drugs or alcohol and things like that, but it's quite interesting because your partner, like I said, sees you as somebody who's quite not rich, but they see you as having you're somebody with abundance. You're rich in soul, you're rich in spirit, and you have certainly some financial security, right? Queen of Pentacles indicates there's a lot of financial security there. So that's how they see you. And it could be very much so that they're just keep pulling you in because that's what they see, right? They're saying, you're my soulmate, you're my soulmate. They're seeing you as almost like, and I don't want to say a cash cow, but like almost as, someone who's going to raise their status. They see themselves very much as like a Don Juan anyway. You know what I mean? And so, but they see you as somebody like, they like to see you on their arm or whatever, right? But yeah, you do definitely, when you're with them, you always feel like this very manipulated, trapped kind of feeling, right? And I think they also very much kind of play a lot of games, right? Play a lot of games. They probably talk a lot about what they're going to do in the future with you, right? It could be a lot of daydreaming. Every time you get together, it's like, babe, we're going to do this. And this could be male or female, but it's always like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. I'm all ready. It's like these, you know what I mean? Because that's the energy I'm getting here. This is the kind of person you're dealing with. They're always looking to the future. They're always looking to the next project. But are they completing anything? Or do they ever get it done? Are they just talking about pie in the sky? Right? And so you come back and they talk up a good storm, and then it's kind of okay for a little while, but then of course inevitably it falls apart again and you leave. Yet you then come back. That is codependency, right? So you're both in a very like codependent kind of relationship. Now, why you keep going back to them, that's usually, that usually happens in situations when you share something. There's something that you both share that's toxic. That's the nature of codependency. You both are dependent on each other, but what keeps you guys together? It's because you both share something that is toxic to the other person. A lot of times it can be drugs or an addiction or alcohol. It can be a way of behaving with each other, like a psychological kind of abuse where you just, are used to kind of like you blame each other, you fight, and then you make up, and it's like this vicious cycle, right? So, and you're addicted to behaving that way because it gives you some kind of endorphin rush when you're fighting. You know what I mean? So codependency comes in a lot of ways. I won't say it comes in a lot of forms because the form around it is quite simple and recognizable. The reasons for it can be many. The reasons for codependency can be many. But looking at a codependent situation, it's pretty much follows a certain script, which is you get together, because you miss each other or you miss this thing that you share that is toxic to begin with, and that you're kind of have an addiction to, right? That you're dependent on. So you come together because of that shared thing, and it's nice for a minute, but invariably that thing that is toxic to both of you is also toxic to the relationship, and you fall apart and you separate, and then later you come back again, right? It's a constant back and forth, right? And so I think that's how I feel here. I feel like whatever it is that's drawing you, and I think this is where King of Swords comes in, you're going to have to be like honest about what's going on in this relationship. And that's why I was trying to figure out, I was curious about this codependency, because when one of you is calling in your soulmate and the other one is codependency, like what kind of scenario is that? And that's what it is, I think, you know, this person, your person is making, whether you're truly their soulmate or not, or they're manipulating you, I don't want to say something like that. I feel like maybe in their mind they do believe that you're their soulmate, but that doesn't mean that they're healthy for you or good for you, or that they're willing to actually make all the changes that they need to make to their toxic way of behaving to be good for you. Just because they believe you're their soulmate doesn't mean that all of the, the good stuff that should come in a soulmate relationship is there, or that they're even capable of giving it to you. King of Swords talks about, not taking any prisoners, being honest, almost going to war, in a way. Like, he's the one who's going to win kingdoms through debate and through his wit and his tongue and his communication and his mental acuity and his ability to think outside the box, right? He's the genius. He's the inventor. He's the one who comes up with the ideas. He's the ideas man, right? So somewhere along the line, this kind of ruthless honesty as well has to come into play about what's going on here. And I think that's it. We're going to get some clarity cards for you guys. I think we're going to use the Thelema deck. Yeah. And I think this week, right, you're going to have some things that happen, there's going to be some scenarios that you come across, Cancer, that's going to give you, and this is where the world card comes in, those scenarios are going to give you a very clear picture of what's been going on. You're going to see a lot clearer what's been going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I think a little bit of them pulling you in is this whole you're my soulmate, blowing pixie dust, that pixie dust in your face, and just getting you kind of like, spun in a way, I would say, when they blow the pixie dust in your face, it's like you're under this kind of spell, and it's like, sometimes when you open your eyes and you see how absolutely toxic a relationship can be, and you're like, well, he said he loved me, and it's like, if you just take a moment to actually look at the actions in the relationship and stop just like falling for the thrall every time they say those magic words, I love you, as if they have some kind of crazy power, The words I love you have no power apart from the actions that are associated with them. They mean absolutely nothing if they're not attached to some kind of action that, qualifies that statement, right? Yeah, I love you, but if I don't ever do shit for you, what does that statement mean, right? A lot of times, people, men and women both, it's like somebody says I love you, and it's almost as if they went and blew pixie dust in your face, literally, and you just fell to your knees. And it's like you stop discerning, and you stop kind of like noticing, and you start making excuses because now you're so desperate for this so-called love, right? And so that's what I'm saying here as well. It's like you're going to need to look at this situation like with some real clarity and honesty, right? And that's going to come through this week. There's going to be some things that happen and you're going to kind of realize, yeah, he says he loves me, but really the truth of the matter is he's never going to change, or she's never going to stop breaking my heart. You know what I mean? She says she loves me, but yet here she goes again with that BS. You know what I mean? And it's like you start to kind of see your person for who they really are, and perhaps why you keep getting pulled in. back and forth. Show me some clarity for our lovely Cancers. Show me. All right. Three of Swords. Yeah. Nine of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. You're working away, yeah. The Emperor. Knight of Cups in reverse. And King of Swords. So cards usually don't come in reverse for me because I clear my decks between readings. So it's quite interesting that that one will come in reverse. Five of Pentacles is here. So abandonment. Being ousted in a way. Yeah. So here's the Three of Swords, right? So you keep coming back and forth because every time you come in, there's more bullshit. There's like some deception that happens. Three of Swords talks about deception, third-party energy. You keep forgiving this person. You keep forgiving them. They keep kind of like, you know, breaking your heart, doing what they do, right? And you leave and then you come back, you know? And I think that, here you go. It's like Nine of Wands. I think the reason you come back is you don't want to be alone. You feel like you've put so much time into this already that you don't want to abandon the work you've already put in. You know, it's like you've been going for so long. Nine of Wands is that card where you're like just, he's the one, he's standing there and he's surveying all of his wands and it's been a long battle, you know, and he's like, whew, let me just take a breather for a minute and look back on everything that I've done. I think that's, you know, that's a part of the reason why, you know, you keep coming back. It could also be like a reason why you're attracted to this person. This person may be somebody who helped you out through some really tough times and you feel a certain amount of responsibility to them, right? It could be, you know, it could be this could be a relationship that you've been in for quite some time, and because they helped you at some point in your life, you now feel obligated to them, despite the fact that the relationship has kind of turned bad for you. And let me tell you something, you're not obligated to anybody because they helped you. You know what I mean? People help you and should be helping you for the sake of helping you. If somebody comes into your life and they aid you, great. If they come into your life to help you out of a situation just so they can help you out of it and into another messed up situation with them so they can prey on you, then they never helped you out to begin with. You don't owe anybody anything for helping you out. I don't know why that message came through so strong just then, but it did. Somebody out there needed to hear that. You don't owe anybody anything for helping you out. You should give them your gratitude, right? You should be grateful. You should be conscientious and mindful, you know, mindful and grateful that they came into your life, that they were able to do that. Right, but the biggest gratitude you can show somebody is to go forward with your life and pay it forward and help somebody else. It's not to now be yoked or burdened with this person now for the rest of your life to put up with their shit because they helped you one time in a jam, or they helped you one time a few years ago when you were having problems with your family or this or that. You know, so many people do that and they purposely seek out. This is what people mean about when you get purposely sought out when you're in a vulnerable state. There are people out there who are soul suckers. They seek out people who need help. They seek them out. They take advantage of the fact that they need help. They help them, and then forever, ever, they make them feel as though they're obligated. Yeah, you feel very trapped. You're working a lot, though, right? So, Eight of Pentacles. I feel like, yeah, this is... You know, I almost feel like this is really one of these scenarios where you're hooked up with somebody who's like really bad for you. You know, when you're with them, you feel trapped. They got you working all the time. You know what I mean? They see you already as the one who brings in the money, you know, and you feel like you absolutely owe them. Here you go. Aries is on top of Queen of Pentacles. Aries being that fiery leader energy, the king, the emperor. Yeah, this person feels like they have dominion over you. You know, your person sees you as theirs. as belonging to them, and that they're going to always keep calling you back. I see this as a very difficult kind of like painful relationship. Here's the Knight of Cups. Yeah, you're going to see that every move they made to you was false. This is what I'm talking about this week, and that's quite interesting that this one card will come back in reverse. I do read reversals. I just rarely do it because, you know, I intuit the cards the way, you know, the message of the cards. I don't need them to be in reverse to tell me how the what the meaning of the card is in that scenario. However, when they do come in reverse, it's just an added kind of oomph, like, yes, pay attention here. And here, you know, pay attention. Yeah, pay attention to like what I said this week. There's gonna be things happening where you're gonna get a bigger picture. You're gonna see things from the bigger picture. You're gonna see how you fit in and they fit in, and a lot more kind of like expanded view instead of this microcosm view. They can kind of make you hyper focus on the two of you, right? But when you look back on your whole relationship, it's like you can then really see, you know, who's playing what part, who's manipulating who. And I think what you're going to see is Knight of Cups in reverse for your person. This person is really actually not as sincere about what they're saying to you as they have been. About, you know, they come towards you, but it's kind of part of a manipulation. And I think that's what you're going to see this week. I really do. And I think calling in your soulmate is the energy that, yes, you want a soulmate, right? And I think that's the problem here. I believe this person's got you convinced that they are your soulmate. And so because of this whole codependent, effed up kind of like power struggle here, you know, you kind of like, maybe you're used to it or you've bought into it or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's false. It's not really, really real, right? It's not really, really real because there's no cups anywhere except for these two, right? There's no real love coming out of this reading. There's dependency and pain, you know. Knight of Cups in reverse here. To clarify this person's, the way they, like I said, you know, it's like they're very ambitious, you know, and I'm sure, here we go, King of Swords. All right, so two Kings of Swords. So that's what I meant earlier about the King of Swords cutting through the bullshit. Like I said, this person's very ambitious, or they portray themselves as being very ambitious. They may be one of these people who portray themselves as always having some kind of big project going on. You know, they talk a big game. And part of this week as well is, yes, King of Swords has come out again to clarify you need to cut through their bullshit. You know, call them to task, you know, tell them, you know, explain yourself, show me, because it's like so far nothing is that they've never manifested anything with you except just calling you back in every time you try to escape them, you know. And so, yeah, you really need King of Swords. You don't even need Queen of Swords. You need King of Swords. Like, yo, we're going to have this conversation. You're going to answer my questions. And if I don't like the answers, you know what I mean, then you're not going to like my reaction. You know, it's time for you to like really lay everything bare and see it for what it is. Wow, this developed into quite a heavy reading. Sometimes the message just reveals itself as I'm getting into the cards. Like I said earlier, this codependency was really kind of bugging me when it first came out. I was like, But as I, you know, get into the cards and read, I very much believe that, yeah, Cancer, you know, do what you can to get yourself, if this is you resonate, please like, subscribe, and share. But certainly get yourself out of any toxic relationships. And I think the major thing here to remember is that don't make anybody, you know, or let me rephrase that. Don't allow anyone to guilt trip you into ruining the rest of your life because they happen to help you with a very small portion of it. You know what I'm saying? In a scheme of a 70-year life, right? Someone who may have helped you for 2 or 3 years does not deserve to have you and your blood, sweat, and tears for the rest of the 67. Do you understand what I mean? And a lot of us out here do that. We throw our lives away to people because we magnify, you know, the one time one person helped us, maybe because nobody ever helped you or was close before. And so but remember, that should never come at the expense of the rest of your life or many, many more years of unhappiness now, just in a different scenario, a different situation, a different master, a different whatever. Okay? I love you, Cancer, so much. This is the weekly reading for June 10th to the 17th. If this resonated with you, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share. For now, Cancer, hang in there. I love you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.